Alright, welcome back everybody. So what are we looking at here? So this is something that I just got to try because some commenters keep on bringing this up. It is called Xing or blade crossing or X blade. You get the idea basically. Two blades on one spindle shaft and in a plus pattern, and it's supposed to help you with mulching up thick grass or something. I'm not, okay, I just want to get this out of the way. I'm not going to leave this on there permanently. This is just something I'm going to try and mow a few yards with it and then take it off and never do it again. But I have to do it. I absolutely have to do it. You can see the concept. So instead of 2 tips per spindle, you have 4 tips per spindle, or a total of 12. So there's going to be 6 blades on the mower. I'll be putting this on the Cheetah. And so there they are, they're on there. Now the Cheetah uses just one spacer, one big giant thick spacer. So as you can imagine, adding a 1/4 inch of spacing is going to drive the whole thing down a 1/4 of an inch. So like if your indicator is saying 4 inches, you're actually going to be mowing at 3.75. So it's going to send everything down the shaft. And it's also going to be adding a lot of weight. This I picked this up. This does weigh a lot. And so it's going to be putting extra stress on the belt. Definitely not good for it. Not something you want to leave on there permanently. So this is just a concept, and we'll check it out. So I'm going to put it on there and take a look at it. Okay, right off the bat I see a problem. So this is all the way on. If you look at the top of the nut, let me show you one that's on. So this is one I haven't taken off yet. And the Cheetah spindle shafts are designed to be, when they're tightened on, even with the top of the nut. So if you drive the whole thing down a 1/4 of an inch, it's going to be down a 1/4 of an inch on the nut. And considering you're going to be torquing it hard, that could cause a problem. So hold on a second. Okay, digging through my stuff, I found this. The one on the top is from the Cheetah. The one on the bottom is from who knows where. But I have 3 of them, so I'm going to put those on. See what that looks like. Okay, there we go. That's completely torqued on there. And we got plenty of room at the top. And we got this now crazy looking setup. Yeah. Well, this is definitely going to be interesting, and it does weigh a lot. This is going to be torquing the belt pretty hard. I hope it doesn't slip. I don't think it's gonna. Of course, if I have any problems, I'm just going to take the whole thing off. This is not something that the Cheetah needs. It's doing just fine like it is. Just a proof of concept, just to answer some questions like, when you get into some thicker stuff, are these things going to move? Are they going to move out of the plus pattern, shift? Even if they do, it's going to stay balanced because, they are what they are, and they're just kind of balanced on themselves. Even if they were, in like a kind of a V pattern, so they would still be balanced. Anyway, let's get the other ones on there and see what happens. Hey, look, an actual grass buildup. It does happen, but basically you should see what I've been mowing through. Anyway, let's get the rest of them on. Alrighty, I've got them on there. And I put them on extra tight for obvious reasons. By the way, this is the impact wrench I use, Nitro Cat Extreme 1000 TC. Had it for years. It's been absolutely great. Totally awesome. But now let's get under here and take a look at what this looks like. It's quite awesome to look at. You know what? I can't get... Okay, that's about the best shot I can get there. So, it's definitely something to look at. But how does it perform? That's the question. Boy, they are heavy. And it's gonna put a lot of strain on the engine and the belt. But, gotta try it. So let's try it. Okay, so it did just fine. See there, nothing crazy with the cut. I did remember to set it 1/4 inch higher than I normally do so that it drops back to the normal height because of the extra 1/4 inch of the extra blade. And you know, it didn't struggle with it. That's just because it's a cheetah, I guess, but the you know, smaller engines, smaller mowers may struggle with this setup quite a bit, but it had no issue. It sure sounded neat. It had a deeper tone to it. But I put it back up here so that I could look under here and make sure these things didn't shift or something. And no, they seem to still be in their cross pattern. That's an optical illusion on that one. That is still in the correct pattern. So, I mean, my grass wasn't very tall, so I need to put it up against a better challenge. So I'll find some yards over the next day or two and film them and put a bunch of clips back to back. I hope I can find at least one extreme situation. Other than that, I didn't, on this grass, it wasn't very high. It was only about as high as that over there. I didn't notice a major difference, but I'm sure that it would in thicker grass. So time will tell. I will get some more clips and add them all after this and stop the talking section. Alright, so this is going to be the one that gets the first test. This is St. Augustine of what I would call normal height. I know it probably looks tall for people up north, but this is normal. And in particular, there's a section over here of a different grass type that is really hard to deal with. I'm very curious to see what a 6-blade setup will do with this. Over here is a horrible grass type. See it right there? This type of grass, no matter how sharp your blades are, it will rip it off and wad it all up and leave it in bunches. And I'm very curious to see if there's any solution at all. It would be a 6-blade setup. So let me set up the tripod and film this. Okay, guys. My initial reactions is that it's not that much different on the regular St. Augustine. This area over here mowed pretty much exactly the same as it did. But this area over here with this horrible grass did mow better. Get closer. Okay, this is what it usually does. It all wads up like that, and clearly you can see that it did wad up here. But not as much as it usually does. Normally you have to mow it once, usually quite a bit slower than you normally mow, and then you have to go over it again with the deck up higher to get it to spread around a little better. And so I see an improvement there, but on the regular yard it mowed pretty much exactly the same. And so that was regular height St. Augustine. I do have one tomorrow that is over fertilized and over watered, and it'll be darn near a foot tall after 1 week, so I will try to get that one filmed. But yeah, so far it doesn't look like there's too much of a reason to do this on a cheetah anyway. On a regular 48 regular deck commercial walk behind, maybe it's going to have some improvement, but the cheetah is not the best one to look for improvements because it was already doing quite well. But I'll keep on testing. Next clip, I don't know what it'll be, but maybe it'll be that one I'm talking about. And so I'll stop talking. Actually, I forgot to check to see if they shifted at all, if they moved. So I had a few situations where I was in a little bit of a thick situation. Let's see what we got. Not that one. Not that one, and then you got the optical illusion one over there. But to the eye, it looks fine. On the camera, it looks like it's a mess, but I think it's okay. Alright, they didn't move. So, let's go try to find some grass. You know what, I might mow out in a field over here just to see what happens. Down the road there. Alright, well, it's lucky I checked on this field. I'm responsible for this field, and it is up above the level that the county allows. So I've got to mow this right now. It's a good time because I'm testing out these blades, and we've got all the, hard to see those? Those are seed pods, but he has seed pods. We call them whips. And a lot of mowers have trouble getting them. The cheetah never had any trouble getting them. Oh, I'm setting the dogs off. At least over here, it's got some height. It's not really a challenge for it. But I'll film a little anyway. Alright, so it's, you know, it's striping nice. And it's catching everything, you know, it get every single seed whip and every bit of everything. But it always does anyway. I don't know if it's really helping. Might be not be the best mower to test this on because it kind of mows like this anyway. I don't know. Name of the channel is just something to look at, and I'm at least providing that. Let me just finish this up. One more thing, I just wanted to show how long it takes the blades to come to a stop. So I'm going to go over there and engage them and stop them so that you can see. Now you may not know, but that was a lot longer. Because of all the momentum from the extra weight on the blades, it takes forever for them to stop. Normally they stop right off the bat. And yeah, I've got the safeties bypassed. Anyway, I'm hoping to film that one tomorrow, the thick St. Augustine one, and then that'll be the end of this test because, gosh, I don't know what it's proving with this mower. Got some stripes. Okay guys, this is going to be the last of the test sections. This thing here, this is actually one of my nicest yards right here. They been nursing it back to health, so right now it is over fertilized, and with the rain we've been getting, it is overgrown, and this is at 1 week, believe it or not. So this is what I would call real thick fertilized St. Augustine, and I'll mow this wide open to see what kind of an effect we can get here. So let me get the tripod. Alright, so let's go take a look. As you can see, it didn't really save me from having to go mow over it again. I had a lot of... Well, let's look at the clippings. Let's look at them real up close. You can see there, you got a kind of a mixture of super fine cut up clippings, and then some others that are still just as long as they would have been the first time. So it's not keeping you, it's not saving you from having to, you know, double cut something like this. And this is normal on this one. When it's grown up this much, it is normal to have to cut it a couple of times to get it to all lay down, going from this, I mean, to this. So ultimately, I don't know, I don't think it's really saving me from anything. So what I'll do now is I will go back to the, yeah, you see that garbage truck way over there? When it came by, it dropped that garbage bag. So I think it's coming back to get it. But anyway, I'll go put this thing up on the trailer ramp and take a look at the blades again, and then wrap it up. Alright, so let's go check this out. After all this mowing, I mowed quite a few yards since the last time I looked under here, including that field where it bottomed out a couple of times. I'm curious to see if these things have moved. Not that one, not that one, and not that one. Okay, so to wrap this up, I'm going to say, let's see, I've proved a few things. At least on this mower, the belt doesn't slip, clutch doesn't slip, the blades don't slip. They don't seem to move from their configuration, but I think they could if you really hit a anthill real good. But gosh, I think I also proved that on these bigger mowers, it's pointless to do this. But you know, it's one of those things, you just had to try it. And you know, the things that it does do, definitely looks cool. And it sounds cool. I hope the sound came through on the video, because it was quite awesome. Sounded like an airboat. But, so it looks cool, it sounds cool. Doesn't seem to hurt this mower. I don't know if it would really, but it's certainly pulling on the belt harder. It's pulling on, I don't know what kind of braking mechanism the blades have. I don't know where. It seems like there's a brake that's trying to stop it when you turn them off. And it's having trouble stopping them. So it's probably wearing that out, whatever that is. I need to find out what that is. I actually don't know. But ultimately, this isn't for me. And I would say anybody on a really big mower like this, it's completely pointless. It's not helping. But it, from what I see, it does help on the smaller ones. So I'm going to take them off. I'm going to run just 3 blades. And this has been fun, interesting. Okay, anyway, so that wraps it up for this vlog. That was vlog 22. Stay tuned for vlog 23. Will be more of the classic style. Like, for example, this yard. Now, this yard is very likely my nicest yard. And it will be a feature. It'll be a video all on its own once it's completely back to par. There's some sections. A lot of resodding had to be done. A lot of stuff had to grow back from a spraying service nightmare that happened. But anyway, that wraps it up for this one. Everybody have a good one.